Hello, this is Kathleen McKee of Oleens.com, Machine Embroidery Art.
This is lesson 1 on the new PE Design 10, the upgrade from PE Design Next. Grab a cup of coffee because this may take a while to explain the differences between the two. Some of them are, or most of them I should say, are much better, and a lot of them I'm not so crazy about. So when you first start up, the first thing you'll notice will be the difference in the wizard. It has some more options, but I never used this wizard in the first place, so I'm just going to go ahead and close it, except for the set hoop size and fabric is there upon startup. But I always use that so much when I'm digitizing, changing the size, shape, and color of the background, that I need it on my quick access toolbar. You'll be able to find that under the purple flower icon in the in the left upper corner, and I'm going to right click that and add that to the quick access toolbar. You'll notice when you open up the old PE Design Next, the wizard doesn't have so many options, but I don't use that anyway. But under the Home tab, you always have your design setting, and you can see I have set up my quick access toolbar already, so I also have it on my quick access toolbar. And since I have not set up my quick access toolbar on my new PE Design 10, I just wanted to kind of go over that with you, some of the tools and things that I use most frequently. One minor thing under image, and it's no big deal, is when you open an image under the little flower tab icon, you don't have that option for the portrait like we used to have so much fun with. Let's go to image. Remember from portrait that we had fun with in lesson 30? Well, we don't have that anymore. No big deal. Just save your version of Next, and you can always play with it some more. Another thing is all the tools that you will be using are under one icon. You see the little star and heart icon. We're going to go ahead and right click that and put that on our quick access toolbar, because we want to always be able to get to that no matter which tab we're in. What I like about it is that when you click on it, whether it's from your Home tab or on your quick access toolbar, is it just takes 2 clicks to get to whatever tool you need. Once on the star heart icon, and the second one, say we're going to use a straight block to get to the tool we're going to use. In PE Design Next, you still have to click twice, whether you're using the line region, rectangle, arc, or the shapes. You still have to click 1, 2 to get to the same tool. And what I like about it is that it takes up less space on your quick access toolbar. The Modify Overlaps and Remove Hole tab has also saved space on the quick access toolbar. When you select a tool, and here's something else. When you are doing you see this little line? You can see that lets you know where it's going to join up with, and it also reminds you that this is a closed path. So we double click that, and then I'll do another one. Double click. Now when we select both of them, it will bring up our option to modify the overlap, and I'm going to click on that and add that to the quick access toolbar. And then you still have your little arrow where you can remove overlaps, merge, or set hole sewing. They all pretty much do the same thing. So we are going to select those 2 objects, and we're going to remove the overlaps. And note that you still have a double sewing over with remove overlaps when you have a zigzag outline. Now when you go to PE Design Next, and we have 2, and you see you don't see that little line showing you where it's going together. Now we have to also select that so we can turn on a fill stitch or in there. Okay, and then let's do one more. Now when you select them both, that will give you the option to remove the overlaps under edit, I believe. Yeah. Okay, but you see, you have to, each one you have to right click and add it to the quick access toolbar. And I have them right here on mine. But what's nice about, okay, we'll go ahead and remove the overlaps. Same thing. But it's nice to not have to take up so much space on your quick access toolbar. It gives you all the options right there. So that saves space. When I was playing around with this, I couldn't find the optimize exit entry points. Like in PE Design Next, when you have two objects, you'll notice that under the selector point, you have that little checked optimize entry exit points, and it's supposed to put the closest stitches together. PE Design 10 is supposed to do this automatically. I'm having a little trouble playing around with this. I'll get back with you and tell you what I think I'm doing wrong, but for the most part it does it automatically. Another improvement that I like with the PE Design 10 is when you select an object, instead of turning, you go to your shapes and it will tell you that you have the red outline zigzag or the fill stitch. Notice that there is not a toggle switch like there is in PE Design Next, where you can turn off the outline or turn off the fill. That was confusing for a lot of beginners especially. What's nice about the new 10 is that you just see the color and you go and select your stitch, or you select not sewn. I think that's a lot easier to understand. Same with the fill stitch. Instead of choosing the different fill stitches, and there are lots of extra fill stitches, you can just check region not sewn. And since you always want to have those options available, let's go under the shapes, and I'm going to add that to the quick access toolbar, and also the fill stitch, I'm going to add that to the quick access toolbar. So you always have that available. I did that incorrectly, so I need to right click this and remove it, because I not only want the color, but I also want this information as well, so I can see what stitch I have. Okay, so now we will do the fill stitch and then go and add both of these. So now I can always adjust those without having to go to my Shapes tab. Another thing you'll notice is the difference in the number of tabs on the top. You just have Home, Image, and View, whereas in the old Next you had Home, Edit, Arrange, Image, View, Attributes, a lot of different things. Believe me, you can find just about all these features and more, and I'm going to try to help you find all of those tabs and features in this and future lessons. One of the coolest and best features of PE Design 10, and well worth spending the money to upgrade, is the ability to add direction lines to region fill and outline tools. Okay, I need to turn on, we'll just do the, we'll put that a fill stitch. Now look what happens, and double click. Okay, what's really cool, when you go to your edit tool, look, you have all these arrows that you can manipulate and change the direction. And while you still have your edit tool selected, when you select the object and you right click on it, you can add another direction line. So we'll add another direction line. Double click. I'm going to right click and add another direction line. Then you draw your line, double click. So what you can essentially do with this is make your region fill tools behave like a manual punch. And we're going to do one more. Double click. So you see we can make it behave like a manual punch tool. When you use your regular select tool, if you right click it, it also gives you some pretty cool options as well. Yeah, you almost don't even need this on your quick access because you can click on it and choose to have a zigzag outline on it. Or if you right click it, you can do a number of other things. You can convert it to stitches, create floral, a lot of different things. Now, while we always could add an outline easily to a region fill tool, and wasn't so you couldn't do it with a manual punch. But now with PE Design 10, this is just great. I love this. Double click. Okay, now you can add an outline to it by either right clicking it and choosing an outline of any. So we'll do a run and stitch this time. I don't know if you can see that. We'll change that to a zigzag. We never could do that with the old PE Design Next, and that was something I always wanted to be able to do. See, when you select that, it doesn't matter if you're not going to get an outline. You don't even have the option. Between being able to put an outline on a manual punch or being able to remove overlaps with another object, you never could do that before. Now, when you select both, you now have the option to remove the overlaps. I love this. You could never do that before in the old PE Design Next. You see, I've created the same to a manual punch and then a block. When you select them, these are grayed out. You don't have the option to remove that overlap in the old PE Design Next. Some other changes that might cause some of you frustration when converting is little things like changing your center line. I'm going to import a design from a file that I have done. I'm going to import it. And if I wanted, this is, as you can see, is a radial stitch. Now, in the old PE Design Next, I'm going to import a design there. Same one. And if I wanted to change the center of the radial stitch, I would go to the exit entry and center points, and I could change it that way. And the radius would come, you could change where the middle of the radius is. Now in the new PE Design 10, you're going to say, where is it? I can't find it. It's under the edit tool, and it's that little green X. So that was pretty easy to figure out. If you ever digitize for Puffy, for elements in your design, you're going to love this. Now, you could never get your densities high. What I usually did is I would just go over it twice. But now, when you select it, you have the ability to bring your density right on up to 4. Oh, this is, excuse me, this is, I forgot what program I was in. This is Next. But look what happens when you're in the new 10. When you select it, you can get that density way up there, right on up to 14. That's an excellent feature instead of having to go over it twice. To view the thread trim icons, the little scissors that let you know when the machine stops and trims, you have to be in the stitch view in the old PE Design Next, as you do in the new PE Design 10. But the only thing you had to be sure is that you had a machine type multi-needle checked, and also you would have to go down to the little stitch view, and you could check the view thread trimming, and that way you'd be able to see the little trim areas. In Next, I had a little hard time finding it. As before, you still have to be in the multi-needle, which I told you you could find under design settings here, and you see I have my multi-needle machine checked, or now I have it on my quick access toolbar. But instead of going to the view, and that's something else, that's something we have down here, it's no longer automatically in the on the quick access toolbar as it was in Next. You see they automatically had it there, but in 10 the views are down here. I'm going to eventually put mine back up there again because that's where I'm used to looking at them. But you don't see it there. You don't have the view trims. You have to go to the View tab, and then you'll see the View Thread Trimming. Make sure that box is checked, and you'll be able to see where your trims are. I know everybody is going to love all the new text options that you have. There's so many more fonts. It's just too many built-in fonts to even name, and that's a whole new chapter on itself. But one of the most frustrating new aspects of 10, and I'm going to go back to Next to start off with, is when you are converting files from block to stitches or outlines, especially if you want to edit somebody else's design and you want to make some changes in the density or whatever. So I'm going to go to import on the old PE Design Next, and I'm going to import it from a file. And oh, here's another thing. When it says file type, it says all embroidery types, and you can open it up and it will tell you what like the EXP is Melco, or HUS is Husqvarna, or CSD is Singer, or XX. And I kind of found that helpful, and that I could identify what machine somebody was using to know what type of file they were using. They don't have that in the PE Design 10, but I'm going to import this DST file. And as we know, DST files always come in the colors sequence that doesn't really make sense. Okay, so we have selected this, and we'll go to Attributes, and we're going to convert it to blocks. And I always just use the default and say OK. And then you know whenever you see that blue line around it, needs to be ungrouped, and you can find the group and ungroup under Edit, but I have mine on my quick access toolbar, and I'm going to ungroup it. So now I can manipulate each part of the design separately. And you can see in the boxes here, you can go to your sewing attributes, and you can see the density and the step pitch and the pull compensation, everything that you need, and change whatever you need to change. Note that there are only 5 components of this DST design that I have imported. When I go to the new PE Design 10 and I import that same file, and then I have to go to the Stitches tab here, which appears when you select it, and I am going to convert it to block again. Once again, you get the same choices, and I just go with the default, and then you have to ungroup it. So I'm going to go to the ungroup. But look what happens here. Now you don't just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because when you click on it, you go to Sewing Attributes, you don't get any options. That's because they broke it up even further. Now, I understand this gives you complete control of changing each one, but this is a very simple design, and it only has maybe 20. They break it up. There's a lot of pieces to it. Uh, when you have a larger design with many colors, you might have as many 300 or 400 different elements that you have to go in there and change each one separately. I mean, it's good because you get more control. You can remove underlay if you don't want it, and change the stitch length of the running stitches in between. But I'm not sure if I like this or not. When it's not applicable, I'm just going to go back to my next one. I want to do a faster edit job and use this when I just need something more detailed. But all in all, I guess it's a good thing that you have. These are the major things that I have discovered in playing around with my new version of 10. And I have to say, I'm crazy about most of them. If you all have any questions or problems with some of the things, or you notice some things I have not mentioned, please give me a note on my YouTube site or on my website. Happy hooping!